Here's something that might surprise you. In an age of AI and automation, your human connections matter more than ever. Yet we're more disconnected than any other point in modern history. Hybrid work has isolated us. We're behind screens instead of across tables. And here's what's costing people. 85% of jobs are still filled through networking, not algorithms. I personally never applied for a job in my 35-year career. Everything came through relationships that I cultivated after determining my target companies, functions, and roles. You have to be deliberate and give yourself a number of choices. And before you say, well, that was at a different time, let me stop you. It's actually more important now, because while everyone else is sending resumes into AI screening systems, you could be having coffee with someone who opens an entirely different door. This is not about superficial LinkedIn connections. This is about 8 specific types of people you need around you to build a career that actually matters. And you reciprocate. Let's dive in.
Now, I realize I came up at a different time than many of you. You can call me old school if you want to, no offense. But here's the thing, with hybrid work environments, not only are you missing out on what could be valuable interactions with work colleagues, clients, vendors, and others at the office, you likely aren't building a network of people outside of work who are truly essential to building your career successfully. I regularly had lunches with people I wanted to get to know, sometimes just for my own professional purposes. I attended conferences, receptions, breakfasts, and talks hosted by companies and professional associations that were relevant to my work. And yes, my employer paid for nearly all of these activities because I stood to benefit their interests by finding clients, new employees, and learning about new industry trends, just for starters. So as I've said before, if you think showing up on a Zoom or Teams or whatever video platform and getting your work done is enough to keep you moving up the ladder, think again. You better lift your head up and connect to the rest of the world if you really want to be successful. And have some fun while doing it.
Hi, I'm Jenny Clark, a conscious leadership expert who spent 2 decades in executive recruiting and talent management, having worked with giants like Google and Spencer Stuart. I discovered that the secret to transformative leadership lies in the 5 dimensions of conscious leadership. And I'm here to help you unlock your full potential. Join me on this channel as we embark on an honest and vulnerable journey together to become the kind of leader that genuinely inspires transformation in your organization.
I've got a little career boosting secret for you. Do you want the inside scoop on leadership plus some juicy tips and hot takes you won't hear anywhere else? I've got a newsletter that's basically your personal career coach in your inbox. Just click the link in the description to join in. Oh, and if you're loving this content, I know you are, click that subscribe button. It's like giving me a virtual fist bump, ensuring you won't miss out on any future videos. Many people view networking as cheap self-promotion or as seeking disingenuous alliances. Done poorly, it can be those things. Done well, it offers great benefits, not just for finding a job, but for gaining essential career insights and identifying business opportunities. Here are but a few of the benefits. Exposure to job opportunities and introductions to job influencers. Valuable impressions of your current skills, gaps, and attributes through the eyes of others. Advice on how to advance or effectively maneuver in your current position. Perspective on whether your goals and expectations are even realistic. References and recommendations that support your pursuit of new opportunities. So in terms of building a network, one of the biggest failings I see people make early in their career is not deliberately building a network of people who can support them throughout their career. Most people define their networks, if they even have given any thought to it at all, far too narrowly. Even the people who've paid attention to their networks over the years often make the mistake of focusing on just 1 or 2 of the types of people who should make up an active and supportive network. I'll help you think through each type of person who needs to be on your list, why they're on the list, what you need to ask of them, and how you need to approach them to build lasting, productive relationships. Here are the people who should be on your radar. References. These are people with whom you have worked closely in the past 3 to 5 years who can attest to specific professional competencies. A full list will include superiors, subordinates, and peers. And you always contact references in advance to make sure they're comfortable speaking about you in detail. Advise them on what to say about you. By that I mean let them know about the position so that they can customize their comments accordingly. When possible, let your references know the name, company, and title of the person or people who might be contacting them so they can respond quickly. Determine their preferred means of contact, phone or email. When you're giving a reference for someone, be as specific as possible about how the person performs or performed. Give examples. Don't just recite their resume and work history. The caller already knows that information. Coworkers. These are people with whom you work or have worked with, regardless of the function, and whom know you well enough to ask a favor of. They're acquaintances with whom you share or shared a common employer. Cultivating relationships with these people can give you access, leads, and or insight. Not sure who to get to know in this category? Well, here's some ideas. Consider reaching out to someone you went through a training class with but don't work with every day. Get to know people in groups or functions within your company that you might have an interest in moving into or want to learn more about. Participate in affinity groups or community-oriented events with coworkers as a way to increase visibility and find out about different opportunities within the company. Reach out to people who might benefit from knowing you, especially younger, more junior colleagues. Don't just build relationships up the food chain. You need to know people at all levels in your world. You never know when the executive assistant or research analyst can help you out of a tight spot. Their willingness to help you might be because of a relationship you've forged, not because of rank. Advisors, mentors, and sponsors. These are usually people who have insight or expertise as relevant to your job, company, or industry that you seek to learn more about. They know you well professionally and personally and can give honest, unfiltered feedback to you and others on your performance, presentation style, and more. Stick to asking advisors, mentors, and sponsors very pointed questions or for advice on job strategies, specific companies, and the like. Consider a person at least one level higher than you and someone you don't report to. Don't wait for formal programs. Find your own mentor based on a mutual vibe you have with that person and their willingness and accessibility. Your current boss may be a great sponsor, but only after you've proven yourself worthy of him or her going out on a limb for you. Former or current professors can be great advisors. Since they know some of your intellectual capabilities and possible tendencies, they can give great feedback as to how well suited you might be for a role or industry. And keep in mind, academics at the top of the heap often do consulting work with businesses and have excellent contacts and current valuable insights. Industry and functional experts. You don't have to know these people, but you can solicit their advice with targeted questions about how they see the current or future prospects for the industry and or function. They may even be able to offer opinions on your insights into some of your targeted companies. These people are especially valuable when you're trying to break into an industry or function you haven't previously worked in. 1 year out of business school, I decided I didn't really like the credit lending aspect of banking, but I liked the real estate aspect of what I was doing. I didn't know much about the real estate industry, so I researched the top local companies in leasing, property management, and development. This was before there was the internet, if you can imagine. So I had to leaf through industry magazines and ask people I knew for leads. I identified half a dozen people I wanted to get to know and learn from. And I cold called these folks and I asked them for a 20-minute meeting during the lunch hour for which I had a clear agenda. Over the course of 6 months, I got to everyone on my list and I learned enough to decide where I wanted to go. I joined LaSalle Partners, now Jones Lang LaSalle, less than a year later in an asset management role. One of the contacts I had made introduced me to the person that eventually hired me. I stayed with the firm for 4 years. It was in the industry for nearly 10 years before moving to executive search. The point is, ask people to share their professional insights with you. Tell people what your objectives are. Be purposeful and create opportunities for yourself. Here's some tips. Search and identify the most respected and senior people you think you can access. Though you're on a fact-finding mission, you are making an impression, so present yourself accordingly. Prepare targeted questions specifically related to what the individual does to show you've done your homework and are respectful of that person's time. During the meeting, honor the other person's time limitations and don't overstay your welcome. Don't leave with your resume. In fact, leave it behind or just send an attachment with the thank you email or note. Let's get into some more folks you need in your network. Friends. People you trust who can give you honest feedback about how you present yourself in different settings. While not always unbiased, friends can tell you the good and the not so good about yourself. Get an honest assessment of your image from a good friend. Is that hairstyle from high school still really working for you? Are you projecting the maturity and professionalism that you want to project? Ask a friend to conduct a mock interview with you or listen to your elevator pitch, even if they don't fully understand what you do. Even better, have your friends check your speech patterns, volume, pitch, extraneous words, and hand gestures when presenting in a one-on-one or group setting. Tell your friends what you're seeking from your career or your job search. You don't know everybody they know. And be a friend to your friends and offer constructive feedback to them. When asked, it increases your chances of receiving the same. Alumni network. This can be a rich network that should be cultivated throughout your professional life. Social networking has made it so easy to identify and reach classmates from college, graduate school, even high school. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain by staying in touch with people. Periodically attend alumni networking events in your city. If you're a subject matter expert, offer to be a speaker. In addition to leveraging the Career Management Center, you can tap into the usually secure alumni website with your password to find former classmates who are working or have worked in your space. Occasionally, you will even find job postings from employers. Go to reunions. I just went to mine. Get on the planning committee and leverage your own network for the benefit of your whole class. And send updates to that alumni newsletter thing, which provides an easy way to help people find you. Alumni do not have to be limited to just graduates of academic institutions. Many large corporations have formed alumni networks expressly for the purpose of providing former employees a forum in which they can share information and leads. Again, social networks like LinkedIn and Facebook have such groups and are easy to join. One of the coolest aspects of networking on the internet is that you can connect with people you have never worked with or even met. Executive recruiters. Having been an executive recruiter for 12 years with one of the world's leading search firms, I feel strongly that job seekers should not expect recruiters to hold the key to their next opportunity. Recruiters are intermediaries who worked for the employer. And while they are aware of many excellent opportunities, those opportunities represent a relatively small fraction of all the jobs hired for in any given year. I would even suggest that in difficult economic times, employers often forego paying the executive recruiters hefty fees in favor of posting internally or doing the search themselves. Having said that, there is an art to knowing how to deal with search firms so that you do get the call when they have something juicy. So identify the firms that work in your current or intended industry and function. Recognize these names and return the calls you receive from these firms. If you are interested in what they're calling about, tell them that you are interested in. Refer or recommend others you know who might be right for the role. Recruiters make note of that in your record and will keep calling you if you're helpful and cooperative. When seeking a contact at a firm, determine the search consultants who work in your field, sector, or function, and send your resume to them electronically to upload into their database. Their names are on the firm's websites. Do not write a Dear Recruiter cover letter. Come on now. Request a courtesy interview to get to know the specific search consultants so they have a feel for how you present yourself, even if they don't have a client with a current need for someone with your background. These are rarely granted anymore, but if people think you're at a company that might become a client or your background is uniquely compelling, they might invite you in to get acquainted. Please don't stalk recruiters to see if they have anything every week or every month. Focus your energy and time on executing your own career mapping strategy. Social media. Okay, so It's not a person, but Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, even YouTube are social networks where you can express your job interests and get leads. Note that confidentiality generally goes out the window in these situations, so be judicious. You don't necessarily want your current employer to know your intentions. I'm a big LinkedIn fan. This site is a great way to stay abreast of people's professional movements, to reach out to assist, ask a favor, or cheer them on. On LinkedIn, you can see how many degrees separate you from someone you might want to know. And you can see who knows the person you want to contact. So yes, when you have an objective as part of a larger strategy, these apps or sites can be great ways to identify and keep track of and connect with people. Here's what I want you to take away. The 8 types of people in your network are essential to a successful career. No matter how introverted or extroverted you are, this is about needing one another and approaching people in an authentic and transparent way. It also means you extend yourself to others. You've heard of reciprocity, right? If you want people to be there for you, be there for them. To get started, I suggest you put together a spreadsheet of people you already know and might need to get back in touch with, and those you don't yet know but want to. List their name, company, where you might have met, their contact information, email, phone number, what you might want to talk about, how they can help you, or you help them, when you last reached out, when you connected, and what you talked about. And make a point to review this list weekly as a reminder to catch up or follow up. Make time on your calendar for these connections, a coffee here, a lunch there, and this will become second nature. Get going. I get it. Taking that first step can feel daunting. I've been there too. But here's the thing. You've got strengths you might not even realize yet. I've put together a free career mapping framework to help you uncover those hidden talents and chart your own path forward. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about starting to see your potential clearly. Ready to explore? The framework's waiting for you. Just click the link in the description. Your future self will thank you for taking this small but powerful step today.